Hey everybody, welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, and we are finishing up the trial here. I'm not exactly sure how long that's going to take, but maybe be able to get into the beginning of the next chapter if we have a little bit of time. We'll see. So we've pretty much gotten Maya off the hook, but apparently Grey Earl has a curveball here. He may have fallen victim to a witch, talking about the alchemist. But that witch was not me. Oh, wait, what? Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? Jean Grey Earl admits to killing Sir Belduke, but not to turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying? Just being a witch is a crime in itself. And the punishment for the crime is the same, regardless of whether she took one person's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking. Grey Earl was still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. But if there's no point in lying, does that mean she must be telling us the truth? So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Everyone's dotting. Mind if I say something? Take a hint, witness. We're dotting here. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was saying. That's why I was staying quiet until now. But I either say it now or never. Don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Oi, Bluey. Yes? I need to make sure about something. Me head's not what it used to be, you know. Yes. The alchemist butler, lady butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink. That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards? Yes, Sir Belduke was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist. And that explains why we found no signs of the struggle at the crime scene. Yeah, about that. I let it slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? I told you that, I had a few sips of that juice. And the sleep medicine mixed in made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember. Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's just between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened. It was unopened? Me throat was parched and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just sitting there, waiting for me with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I couldn't just let that go to waste. I swiftly pulled out the cork and got to drinking. What? So, in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. What? Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at a crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents? That's what I've been telling you. I was dying of thirst. That doesn't justify what you've done. Objection! The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There's no need to investigate Sir Belduke's death any further. Indeed, you are right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear, but a person who kills her protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. Belduke didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, there's one thing here that doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, I have to say, there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can I really turn a blind eye to that? Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle. But that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence. What? Defense, I'd like a word with you. Uh-oh. At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there's a contradiction in that man's testimony or not should be no longer any of your concern. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of any attorney is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Very well. Blue Knight, let us have this contradiction. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. I too would like to hear about this contradiction. The defense shall present evidence. Where is the contradiction that this witness, having been the one who opened the tomato juice bottle? Isn't there? Oh, there's more than one. Ba-da-bum!
Take that!
The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. One of the sketches? Please take a look at Sir Belduke's mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, we've already established that it was the tomato Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection!
Which means there's only one other possibility. That red line is, as we thought first of all, blood. Sir Belduke must have tried to fight back at his assailant and bit his tongue in doing so.
Objection!
Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. This is what made you assume the witch must have used familiar. Yes, well, that is so. As I explained before, Master Belduke didn't struggle at all at that time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unnatural. The victim didn't drink the soporific, yet didn't struggle. But what does this mean? If that's not tomato juice nor blood brought through a struggle with the murderer, then what else could it be? Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it is blood after all. Yeah, right, it's gotta be that. We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. Indeed. Then there's got to be a different reason for the blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. But what could have caused it? Your Honor, may I ask one question? A question? To whom? If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Mister, can I ask you something? Yeah? Don't give me that scary look, Bluey. No, nothing. Nothing at all. I got nothing to tell. Emeer is as innocent as a little lamb, but his confidence is more than just a sham. He'd be better off without that bard. You drank the tomato juice. Yeah, but it was corked. Don't keep asking me about what I did over and over again. So what if I did? Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? Nah, didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Witness! What have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about anything going missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me. I'm a normal man. Truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies well, others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduke's mouth. What on earth did this man steal from the crime scene? A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day. And at this very moment, it's highly likely that this item is right in front of our very eyes. What is here? Isn't that right, mister? Is it? I have no idea. Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene.
Got it!
It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Grayerl, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What would that be, Mr. Wright? Mr. Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated. As for those labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? Mister, what are you doing with the product of Master's research? It's not what you think. I didn't have any evil intention to nothing. That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill. Poison? What? The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth. It was the deadly poison from the bottle this guy stole from the crime scene. This is outrageous! What? Order, order, order! Whoa. You expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison! Poison? Am I gonna die?
Objection!
Just wait and see. Time will tell. Yeah, I guess. More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle. Huh? Well, that's, Remember how I told you I drank the alchemist tomato juice? Indeed, it's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times. Well, that was when I saw it on the floor, this bottle right here. It was totally empty, and I thought, you know, it's such a fancy-looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. They have this air of danger about them, right? They certainly do. So, since I was there, and I was there, since it was there and I was there too, I kind of felt like we were meant for each other. I thought this bottle's so classy, I could die for it. Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly, but if it was empty, it's probably harmless. Oh, hear that? I'm going to live! Good thing I rinsed it well before use. But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduke was poisoned by... It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself. Sir Belduke himself? Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was a suicide.
Objection!
That's preposterous! A suicide! Inconceivable!
Objection!
Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Mr. Grey Earl, when you were strangling Miss Sir Belduke, he put up no fight whatsoever. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduke was already dead. He had poisoned himself. Ugh. But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. Oh, you don't? I can't just tell them it happens on TV all the time. There are certain plants in this area that are highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduke found a way to extract the poison. What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia? The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food to drink. And it would cause internal damage. It is a very powerful poison. Drinking it would induce a most painful death. And to think Sir Belduke could... But did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It doesn't seem like he suffered that much. I would like to know that too. Miss Grey Earl. You mean to say Master killed him... Oh. You mean to say Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I cannot believe it. He wouldn't just commit suicide. Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. I can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There's a piece of evidence like that? If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been a suicide. Because he did write a letter. Could have been a suicide letter.
Take that!
That's Sir Belduke's letter. Let's see. It was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note.
Objection!
What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. That's right. But there's only one person who knows whether the letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Greer. Witness, you stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written on it? I don't know. What? You don't know? I did steal the letter, yes. But I don't know what its contents were. You mean you have not read it? I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it with my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't. Miss Greer, can you tell us where the letter is now? I have it here. Oh, you're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for. That night, having killed Mr. Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and when I was ready for it. So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord, yes, witness? If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud? Now that I'm here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote.
Hold it! Miss Greer, I think you should be the one to read it.
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
Yes, you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud. My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night. That lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter?
It's Greer.
I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Greer.
Oh. The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous, in defiance of her fate, had given me hope. A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down. My dear friend, what I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
They're dotting again. The audience is dotting.
This letter, it wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along. So why did I? How could I have done that to him?
Well, if it makes you feel better, you didn't actually do it. Miss Greyer. My lord. What is it, Inquisitor Barnum? I think it's about time. For the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey and charges Jean Greyer with being a witch. All the evidence corroborates her accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum. What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight? Admittedly, Miss Greyer did attempt to strangle Sir Belduke, but he had consumed deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. Yeah, but she's still a witch, so we're gonna murder her. And one more thing. It also wasn't Miss Greyer who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. The defendant, Maya, saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Greyer didn't kill anyone. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone, and yet you still want to burn her? Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone's against you, and it's super frightening. I'm not a witch, but I've been thrown into this cage, and I've almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same to another person? That's just not right. Is that all you have to say? Huh? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy. So it's like the people's court, where all people must be punished by fire. Why? Why, Barnum? Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Greyer? Yes. Very well, then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Greyer is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No! You can't! Hold it! Please, hold the verdict!
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
there is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
I keep forgetting about her Amelia Bedelia name, Aspella Cantabella.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames. That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father.
We're a civilized people. Into the flames! Into the flames!
And furthermore, a law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
What? Such insolence!
What?
That's heresy! She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I shall make sure this is the last one.
I'm sorry, this story is garbage. It's like Twilight level.
What do you mean, Aspella?
Since you're all so keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean. The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bezella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? Well, you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty. I am the Great Witch Bezella.
Oh my god, she admitted.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grail free. Miss Cantabella. This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Aspella, just what are you saying? I can't let you do that.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish. I'm sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia. No! Please don't do it! There must be another way! You don't need to do this! It's all right. Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton. I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella, your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
I am Aspella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bezella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch Bezella.
Oh, what? We weren't listening. What was that?
Aspella.
Maya!
Aspella, this just isn't right. Let's go. Nick, give me a hand. Jump over there. But... Hurry!
They're getting away!
Because it seems like he's going to have a hard time being a lawyer after aiding a fugitive who's on death row.
Stop!
No!
Maya!
Well, that was dramatic. I guess we will leave it on that cliffhanger. And hopefully you'll all join us for the resolution on Sunday. Tomorrow we'll be doing more Inner World, the last Wind Monk. And then more of this on Sunday. So check that out, and hope everybody has a great weekend. Catch you later.